Our things are just getting started. Great. So, welcome everyone, both on Facebook and on YouTube, and those of you who may be watching this after the fact. What we'll be doing over the next few minutes is exploring some very simple but powerful tools you can use to deal with the way the world is at the moment. I don't have to tell you that the world seems for most of us to be a little bit or a lot on tilt. Weather is getting more extreme. Our behavior as human beings is getting more extreme, both in politics, with guns, with war, with all sorts of things. The planet is warming. And of course, we're always facing challenges in our own lives that are unique to that particular person. So, and before we get into the exploration, I just want to say that all of us here at Sedona Training Associates, our hearts go out to the people who have been affected by any of this, including the recent mass shootings in the United States. No, everyone agrees. We may not agree about how to avoid these type of situations, but everyone agrees that these are not what we all want, that these situations could be a lot better. And as you probably noticed, the way the world is right now causes a lot of stress, a lot of tension, a lot of anxiety, a lot of uncertainty. And many of the things that we used to do to cope with or to try to make things work are just not working in quite the same way that they used to. So what we'll be doing together is exploring several different things that you can start to do right now to deal better with life as it is, both on a more macro level and on a more micro level as it relates to your own personal life. Now, all these tools make up parts of what we call the Sedona Method. And we're obviously not going to cover the entire thing in this video, but we're going to cover some key things that I think you'll find helpful immediately. And the first thing is something we call welcoming. Welcoming is just allowing what is to be as it is. Welcoming is allowing what we're thinking and feeling and experiencing in this moment. It is not always what we go to. Most of us are resisting the way life is. We're wanting to fix it. We're wanting to change it. We're wanting to improve it. And there's nothing wrong with fixing or changing or improving your life circumstances or the circumstances in the world. Of course, I highly encourage that. But when we're simply wanting to, we're not actually doing it. And one of the ways that we try to cope with life is to resist the way it is. We resist how much money we have. We resist where politics are. We resist so many different things. And yet at the same time, and when we are resisting, we think that it somehow has us be more in control. But if you start to pay attention, you'll notice that the exact opposite is true. The more you resist, the more out of control you feel. People know that who are good martial artists, for instance. So what we mean by welcoming is just doing this inside, just opening. And actually do this with me for a moment. Put your hands together And just inwardly relax or open as best you can as you just move your hands apart. This is what we mean by welcoming, just allowing what is to be as it is. And so let's explore this a little bit. We're actually going to be combining welcoming with another process that we call holistic releasing, which I'm not even going to explain because you'll find that something interesting happens as we do it together. So in this moment, could you just simply allow yourself to feel as resistant as you do to the way things are? You might be resisting the way your body is, the way your mind is, the way the world is, the way life is in general. So could you just welcome or allow that feeling of resistance? And notice just in welcoming or allowing the resistance, it starts to dissolve. And then could you also welcome that a sense of allowing or welcoming or openness, a sense of flow? That is what's natural, just a sense of openness to what is. When you're open, even in the middle of a crisis situation, you respond to it better. If you close down in the middle of crisis, you say and do things that you later regret. So again, in this moment, could you just simply allow or welcome any resistance to what is in this moment? Could you just let it be here? And then could you welcome to welcoming itself, allowing itself, the open flowing energy of what is? Could you just be present with that? And notice as best you can that that actually is a more powerful position than the position of resistance. And again, could you welcome any sense of resisting the world and your life the way it is? Could you just let it be here? And then could you welcome too just that sense of flow and ease and openness, which you probably started to feel a little bit of as you welcome the resistance. Underneath all the turmoil we experience in life is an open, flowing, unified energy that we often don't experience because we're not paying attention to it. So could you just welcome that? Allow that. Be present with that as best you can. And then could you welcome any remaining resistance there is in this moment to the way things are? Could you just allow it? And you may think that you need to resist in order to change what needs to be changed. But in my experience, after over 4 decades of doing this, I've discovered, and hundreds of thousands of other people have discovered as well, when you let go of resistance, then you naturally find yourself acting or not acting in a much more appropriate way. So again, could you welcome the feeling of resistance? Could you just let it be here? And then could you welcome ease or flow? Could you welcome the sense of beingness? Could you just allow it? So welcoming, including welcoming opposites, is a very powerful way to cut through whatever it is that's causing you the most distress at the moment. And you'll find yourself not only feeling better, but handling life in much more open, creative, constructive, and fulfilling ways. Now, another application of welcoming is allowing yourself to pick some situation in your life that you've been struggling with, whatever it is. And then what you do is you welcome or allow that situation. Again, this is counterintuitive, but if you try it, you'll see this is very powerful. And then the next thing you do is you welcome any sense of wanting to fix it or change it or control it, any sense of resisting it. And then the next thing you do is you welcome any sense that it's personal. It's about you or who you are. What you'll find is when you welcome the situation itself, there is some relief. When you welcome your wanting to fix it or change it or control it or do something with or about it, that also provides even more relief. And then when you welcome the sense of identification, the sense that it's all about you, that often provides the most relief. But the three of those things combined is a very powerful way to cut through any sense of strife or any sense of inner limitation. So in this moment, allow yourself to think of any situation in your life that you've been wanting to change or improve, or anything about the world, either your personal world or the world in general. And then in this moment, as best you can, could you just simply welcome whatever that's bringing up inside? Could you just let it be here? Just do that as best you can. And then could you welcome as well any sense of wanting to fix it, change it, control it, any sense of resisting it, any sense of wanting to do something with or about it. And then could you welcome too any sense that any of that is personal, about you or who you are. And then if there's still any holding on or holding back in this moment, as best you can, just for now, could you let it go? Just could you? Would you? When? And let's run through that one more time. Focus on that same thing or anything else in your life or in the world that you're finding distressing. And could you just welcome or allow or be present with the distress as best you can? Could you just let it be here? If you pay attention, you'll notice just by letting it be here, it starts to ease or dissolve. And then could you welcome too any sense of wanting to fix it, change it, control it, resist it, do anything with or about it? I'm not saying there's anything wrong with that. I'm saying when you allow that, that energy starts to dissipate or dissolve. freeing you to see life and what is more clearly, act more appropriately. And then could you welcome to any sense that that's personal about you or who you are? The more you take anything personally, the more real the problem seems, and the more you contract around it. So could you just welcome any sense that it's personal, that it's yours, that it's about you as best you can? And then as best you can, just for now, could you let it go? Just could you? Would you? When? Now, welcoming is also a very powerful way to release when things seem to be going crazy. Our tendency is to shut down and put on the brakes. But if you just welcome what you're experiencing, you'll find that you flow with what's experiencing in a more appropriate way, and you deal with it much more effectively. So just allow yourself to experiment with that. The other thing that's really helpful is to recognize that that sense of being an individual, a person, apart from the world, the sense that there's a me here and a you there, or a me here and everything else is over there, it's helpful to start to challenge that, to not just accept that blindly. What if, just what if, this sense of being this separate individual in an isolated world is only imagined? I know it seems real, and I'm not saying you should go around denying it, but if you can stay open at least to the possibility that that sense of being a separate individual is not as real as it seems, just in doing that, there is some tremendous relief inside. And one of the ways you can explore that is to just simply check. In this moment, if you don't go into memory or focus on your body, can you actually find this me that you think you are? You might find sensations and pictures and sounds. There certainly may be memories of a life that you think you own. But check to see if the me itself is actually here. Or is it possible that's just a projection based on memory? Again, just explore this as best you can. You may be surprised at how powerful this is. So let's do it one more time. In this moment, if you don't go into memory or focus on the body, can you actually find a me? Is there actually one you can find? Or is it possible that the sense of me is a projection or imagined, or just imagined? And what if this, whatever's apparently happening in this moment, is already enough, is already wholeness or fullness? What if there's already freedom, or just this one unified energy that all is? Could you just be open to that as a possibility? You'll find just being open to that as a possibility, something just relaxes and opens inside. What if this is what's happening? just this as it is. What if this already is enough, or already is wholeness, already is boundless? You can discover this for yourself. And then what also can happen is that self who thinks they're discovering it can drop away as well. And then there's just simply boundlessness, as there is already. Now, this may seem a little far out, but if you stay open to it, I think you might be surprised what unfolds. So, all of this can really help with you dealing with the way the world is and your life is at the moment. And because we really want to support you on a regular basis, we do what we call 7-day retreats. And these retreats are a way to explore all this work on a very in-depth basis. It's a powerful way to not only take a break from all our troubles, but to learn tools and techniques and perspectives that will help you deal with whatever is happening in a much more peaceful, open, allowing, and empowered way. And so I highly encourage you to join us on the retreat that's starting in a few weeks, towards the end of June. If you've never been to one of our retreats before, they're pretty amazing. And at the moment, they're available to everyone all over the world because we're doing it via Zoom. So you can do it from the comfort of your own home or business. And all the techniques that we just did are just a little taste of the type of things that we do on our retreats. And I think you'll find, if you take the time to do one of our retreats, you'll find it will change your life dramatically for the better. And you may even discover what's beyond the obvious, that natural beingness that all is, that unicity, that oneness that all already is. And as that's uncovered or discovered or recognized by no one, everything changes. Yet at the same time, because it is what's natural, because it is what's always right here, right now, you discover that nothing really changed at all. There already was freedom. So again, I highly encourage you to join us. If you want to get more information about it or to enroll, you can go to sedona.com/retreat. Again, that's sedona.com/retreat. I highly encourage you to join us. I think you'll really enjoy it. And thank you so much for watching. I hope you found these tools and tips and techniques helpful in whatever you're facing in your life right now. Thanks again for watching.